Joining us now, Anna Palmer, a senior Washington correspondent for Politico and co-author of the Politico Playbook. Good enough to join us to discuss all. And Anna, let's begin with Rex Tillerson's candidacy then for Secretary of State. We are told that Tillerson is now at the top of this shortest of lists. We just heard, though, that it is news that has sparked backlash from both sides of the aisle. If nothing else, how difficult a confirmation would Tillerson find?
I think you're definitely going to find that he would have a much more difficult time than a John Huntsman, Mitt Romney, or particularly a Senator Bob Corker. The Senate never really takes on one of their own in a very aggressive manner. I think obviously we're already starting to see some of the points where you're going to see senators try to really pick apart Rex Tillerson and his background. Certainly the fact of lobbying of ExxonMobil and the fact that they have lobbied heavily the State Department. What is the conflict of interest there? As well as, what is his relationship with Russia, and how do different senators feel comfortable with that? You've already seen Florida Senator Marco Rubio and others on the Republican side say that they would have some issues with this.
President-elect Trump himself spoke about Rex Tillerson's qualifications in an interview yesterday. I want to take a look and listen, get your response on the other side.
To me, a great advantage is he knows many of the players. And he knows them well. He does massive deals in Russia. He does massive deals for the company, not for himself, for the company.
He's the Secretary of State.
No, but I have tremendous respect for him. He's a world-class player.
I'm trying to get you to say
But I have others. I know you are. And you're doing very well. But I have others also that I think, Bob Corker is a fantastic guy. Mitt Romney, I've really gotten to know him, and I get along with him really well. But these are all very different types of people. But when you ask me about Rex, he's a world-class player. There's no question about it.
Two things there, Anna. Number one, as we heard Kellyanne Conway say just moments ago, there seems to be a belief here institutionally that Tillerson's ties to Russia and specifically Vladimir Putin are an asset and not a liability. Also, we heard Donald Trump offer up the names of Senator Corker and Mitt Romney without prompting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as far as Tillerson, you've heard him say, he's a world-class player. He's a deal maker. Those are things that Donald Trump clearly wants in his cabinet picks in terms of what he's looking for, less of maybe the traditional route. This would be probably the first businessman to have this role in decades. So it's definitely unconventional, which I think he also really appreciates. As far as Mitt Romney and Bob Corker being mentioned, I think Donald Trump loves the drama. He loves that this is kind of being played out on this stage. It's almost like, the reality television show, who's going to get the final rose here. And we don't know yet, but I think he's trying to keep his options open until midweek when he makes his final decision.
But we're seeing the drama now hit something, it feels, of a critical mass here. And obviously the Tillerson pick walks hand in hand with this rift now between Donald Trump and the Trump transition team and the CIA over its investigation into Russian hacking. Essentially, once again, the president-elect, while suggesting he would put a Secretary of State in who is cozy with Vladimir Putin, he is also denying any Russian involvement in hacking, denying any sort of political motivation in doing so, and in doing so is directly contradicting the CIA's findings. Lots to unpack there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we're seeing is a rift between the intelligence community and Donald Trump that was, months in the making during his campaign season. So this is not necessarily surprising that he's coming out on the other side of the intel community, although it's certainly unprecedented when in terms of having this kind of public back and forth with the president-elect and the CIA. At the same time, I think Donald Trump has praised Russia and Putin for, the entirety of his campaign. So I think the fact that he might pick somebody who has a relationship, who has done business in Russia, isn't necessarily that surprising.
We had Mike Morell on, former acting director of the CIA, earlier today. He pointed out that if Rex Tillerson was appointed here, that no one on the national security team would have crafted or implemented foreign policy if, again, Rex Tillerson is named Secretary of State. He also, in discussing John Bolton, whose name is out there for Deputy Secretary, called him a conspiracy theorist. Specifically, John Bolton's claims that the hacking stories could, in his opinion, be a false flag operation by the administration. It seems, again, a very fine line here that we are walking.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the whole like choose your news, what is truth, the kind of debate that is happening between the media, in between the intelligence community, between Congress. Certainly you saw in the sound earlier Senator McCain, a Republican, staunch defense person, saying, no, hacking did happen. I think he's not assigning motive in terms of, well, it was to flip the election towards Donald Trump or not, but the fact that there was hacking, it certainly did happen. That is why they want to have this bipartisan committee go forward and put out their own paper, to try to kind of validate those facts. I think Mr. Bolton would have a very tough time. You've already heard Senator Rand Paul say that he will do anything in his power to stop him from being at state. So this is not going to be some kind of easy confirmation. And I think particularly if you had Rex Tillerson and John Bolton, things could get very messy very quickly in the first couple of months of Trump's administration.
Senator McCain certainly signaled that in speaking about Rex Tillerson's close ties with Vladimir Putin. Senator McCain this weekend again reiterated that he believes Vladimir Putin to be a KGB agent, a thug, and a murderer. Still lots to get to, but we leave it there for now. Anna Palmer at Politico, as always, we appreciate the insight.